Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just got another update. It was a letter that was actually submitted to Attorney General Maura Healey here in Massachusetts today by the legislature. I'm going to read it word for word because it's pretty powerful. They pretty much laid the smackdown on her, and it was actually signed by 58 of our elected officials here in the state of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth. I'm going to read it to you. Dear Attorney General Healey, we're writing to express our strong concerns about your decision to issue an enforcement notice relative to the sale and possession of firearms that were deemed to be copies or duplicates of guns banned under the state's assault weapons law. We are particularly concerned that your enforcement notice was issued unilaterally with very little, if any, advance notice for licensed gun dealers and lawful gun owners to adequately prepare for this new interpretation of the 1998 assault weapons law. For the last 18 years, the law has been implemented and enforced consistently both by your office and your predecessors. Your new directive, which has been presented by your office as nothing more than a closing of loopholes in the current law, appears in fact to be much more than that: the enforcement of a whole new law that unfairly infringes on the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding gun owners in Massachusetts. An email sent by your office to the legislature on July 21st, one day after the directive was issued, states that, quote, for many years the gun industry has been marketing and selling what they describe as Massachusetts-compliant assault weapons, despite the fact that these guns are actually banned under existing state law, end quote. If in fact these guns were actually banned under the 1998 law, then why has there been no prosecutorial action taken by your office or your two predecessors as Attorney General over the last 2 decades? What exactly has changed that led to your determination that these weapons were banned and being sold illegally all these years? We believe your directive raises far more questions than it answers. On your website, for example, you acknowledge that there is not a list of weapons that are banned under state law, but suggest that your office, quote, will work with gun dealers as necessary to help them identify the guns that meet one or both of the tests of a copy or duplicate, end quote. Licensed dealers and gun owners are rightfully concerned about the ambiguity of the directive and the possibility that they could inadvertently violate its terms and thereby subject themselves to substantial penalties, including fines, imprisonment, and license revocation. Furthermore, in providing guidance on the application of the enforcement notice to licensed gun dealers and individual gun owners, you have indicated that your office, quote, reserves the right to alter and amend this guidance, end quote. Given the confusion surrounding the most recent changes you announced this week, one can only assume that any future amendments would cause similar uncertainty and confusion, particularly if the interpretation of the law can change at a moment's notice without first being subject to an adequate vetting process. We want to be clear that we are not opposed to revisiting the state's gun laws periodically to ensure that they are up to date and being properly enforced. In fact, the original assault weapons ban has undergone a number of revisions since its initial passage, most recently in 2014. However, we believe strongly that any such review should be accompanied by a rigorous debate of legislature with public input before any changes are made to ensure that lawful gun owners have a clear understanding of the law and how it will be enforced. We must therefore object in the strongest possible terms to both the substance of your actions and the manner in which you arrived at and implemented your decision. We thank you in advance for your consideration of our concerns and hope you will reconsider your position and rescind your July 20th, 2016 enforcement notice. If you would like to discuss this with us, blah, 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 blah. Signed by 58 of our elected senators and representatives in Massachusetts. So there it is, the official request to the Attorney General to rescind the enforcement notice that caused all this craziness. I told you when I had an update I would give it to you. There it is. It's 11:51 p.m. My contacts got to me, but a little later than I thought it would. Hopefully tomorrow this is going to be acted on while they're still in session. They have a Sunday session scheduled. If I get anything else, I'll have it here. Until then, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Again, so this goes high in the algorithm for YouTube. I've also personally requested guidance and help from the NRA in getting some more attention to this, because nobody nationwide is covering this, even though it's a blatant constitutional violation. This is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. I'm exhausted, but I'm staying on it for everybody, and I'm hoping to fight this until the end. Take care, guys. Be safe. Goodbye.